star of ER.
Which is just, of course, going into another season.
That's right. And I hear John brought a friend with him, but I don't know. Oh, maybe not. Hey, Johnny boy. You look handsome.
Well, now that John is here, I can leave.
Yeah, you can go now because he's
you
so
guys
handsome.
will be all wrapped up with him.
Sorry, hi, Robin. I didn't mean to interrupt.
What's up, John?
You're looking good.
I just came by to say hi.
When you say he's looking good, I mean, why do you have to even say that?
Well, you know, when a girl gets to a certain age, you want to keep checking.
That's true.
You know, it does sort of suck because I'm totally not a homo, but John hasn't hit the wall. He hasn't hit the wall yet, which is like, when are you going to hit the wall, John?
Because he takes care of himself.
It was clean living. Robin, you're single now?
Yes.
Ooh.
Why don't you fuck her and put her out of her misery? Really, do her a favor, huh?
That'd be good for
Robin, you would love it.
Make it worth my while.
Yeah.
Leaving Mr.
Let's do
Right.
it for the show, Robin.
She'd be awesome to put on that long list.
I would love it.
And
He'd
Johnny-
be at the very top.
And Johnny Stamos will bang you.
Yeah?
I mean,
Yeah.
he's a man's man. I'm telling you. In fact, John's so pretty, it would almost be lesbianism.
Right. That's true.
It would be like two hot
That's true.
chicks.
I could say I've been with a girl.
That's right. Did you bring a friend or not?
I brought a friend.
Who is your friend?
That's why I came in. I've been trying to set this up for 10 years.
What are you setting
Oh,
up?
wait a minute.
I'm bringing a friend, Artie.
Oh, this better be who I think it is.
I'm bringing a friend, Artie.
Who?
Where is she?
Can I predict
And
who I think
where
it
is she?
Dave Coulier?
Yeah, good one.
Cool, yeah.
Look,
Where is
look
she?
at the friend.
You got some music, Fred? Do you have
Here he
this?
is.
Oh my goodness.
Don Rickles.
Ladies and
Don Rickles.
Get up,
The
Benji.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Let's start the roast again.
Yeah, really? I'm the best roaster ever.
That's a real comedian.
Give him a,
Wow. Yeah. We were just in a room full of hacks.
Mr.
That's what a real
Rickles.
comedian looks like.
Mr. Rickles.
The man works in a closet, for Christ's sake.
Mr. Rickles, you don't have to give me a copy of your book. I'm already reading
But
it.
there's something in here about it that you should read.
Thank you. All right, I will read it. Don Rickles wrote a book.
Yes.
Don Rickles is my hero.
Wait a minute. What am I getting? An enema?
Gary, leave him alone.
What the hell is this?
Let him sit down. What are you doing to him?
Jesus.
you want him here, Howard, or here?
Goodness.
This Artie,
Sit down,
by
son.
the way,
I can't
Don,
believe this is the day I have to leave early.
Mr. Rickles.
You can call me down.
And Artie's eating a damn sandwich. What are you doing? Your idol's here. He's
Look,
he's
Mr. Rickles,
sitting down to
you
eat.
did a movie with Artie. I don't even. You probably don't even
You got to
remember.
remind him.
Do you remember that?
Do you remember that?
It wasn't Run Silent, Run Deep.
You hung out with Sinatra, Carson, all the big names. And did you feel you were at a low point in your life when you had to do Artie's movie?
No.
Dirty work.
This is. I tell you, you know, Howard, you don't remember. We met years and years ago when you had a convention.
Yes.
And you were all lined up. Remember with radio people, Robin?
Right.
Do you remember
I
that?
remember when
Very
you came
depressing.
in.
And we
yeah.
stopped. That's the first time I talked to you.
Yes.
And then everybody said, you got to be on with it. Howard said, you got to be on. And this guy, this Greek, has nothing else on his mind. He
John
said,
Stamos.
he says, gee, Don, you got to do this. Howard loves you. Howard loves you. But, you know, you get into the thing, how many times you pop the wife and all that crap, you know what I mean?
Well, it's
and,
my
and I
thing.
get very, I know it's your thing.
You
But the wife,
used
I'm
to-
married 42 years to a Jewess that says, will he say those things?
But John
I used to
Stamos.
talk about Mike to Mike Douglas about that stuff. Right?
That's right.
He's dead.
John Stamos told me for years that he was friendly with you, and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't
didn't
believe him for a minute. Like, why would a guy of your intellectual ability,
Yeah, my intellectual.
and your comedic ability, why would you?
What do you see?
What do you see in him?
Because at 81, he gets broads, and my spider looks around and goes, Jesus Christ, look what he's doing.
It is amazing, isn't it? Does he bring these young girls around for you to see?
Well, he says he wants to meet a nice girl and settle down. But every time we go to dinner, Howard, it's no joke. I mean, they come over to the table and they go, John, you call me. And I said, what is that, John? Nothing. I know nothing. I just want to have a nice meal and meet a nice girl.
Does he tell you about his sex life?
No,
he doesn't.
No, he's very, very quiet about
Are
that.
you jealous of his sex life ever?
No, I had my chances.
Yeah.
Hey, when I was his age, I wasn't laying around in the house with a Mormon book in my hand.
When I read your book, the Don Rickles book,
Yeah.
and I'm reading it right now, you paint yourself as a loser with women early on in your life.
You know why? And I think maybe, I don't know if you had that problem when you were a young man.
Oh, look at me. What do you think my problem
What are you
was?
being kind?
You look like a Jew Zulu. That's what you look like. And no, you're terrific. But listen, Howard.
Yeah.
So what happened was, when you're the clown, when you're the class clown, as you know,
Yes.
when you're the class in the Navy, in my whole life, I was always the guy with the jokes. And if I went on a girl, don't go with him. He's going to say everything, you know. Boom, boom, boom. So it was kind of tough. I did all the jokes. The guys wound up in the back of the car, and I was the driver.
Right.
And I went home, you know, locked myself in a room, put the covers over my head, and played games.
But I mean, now, the greatest moment in that movie that you did with Artie is when I think you ad-libbed it, you turned to him and you said, look at you baby gorilla.
And you talked to the Baskin & Robbins in his stomach. I love that.
You addressed the food in his stomach, which I thought was a stroke of genius. I love that. And Artie, that was your single greatest moment.
Well, it's the greatest moment in the history of my career. I not only told it on this show, I said the first time I ever do the David Letterman show, I'm going to get the segment producer in a headlock if he doesn't let me tell that story first. So I've told it here, and I've told it on Letterman. It is
a classic.
It's just, I got to be on the screen with one of the legends, man.
Why are you hollering up here?
Well, you're a little older.
But did you, when you do a movie
I'm
like
nervous.
that, you don't watch the movie, do you?
You've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the kind of guy. John knows I don't think about my motivation and everything. You know,
Right.
if you're like working with De Niro 20 minutes, he's got to go in the closet to figure out why did I draw the gun? Why did I fire the pistol? Why? And I kept saying, Bob, it's Thursday. Fire the gun. You know.
Enough of that actor bullshit.
Right. You know, so Burt Lancaster is always the same way. When I did my first picture was Run Silent, Run Deep. Here's a kid. I walk on the set, Clark Gable and Burt Lancaster. The first movie of my life. Never saw a movie. He knows about this. The guy said,
You write about it in your book.
Yeah. And it's true.
Yeah.
But Burt Lancaster said that we're always on the side. He'd say, you know, Don, you gotta know what the submarines are about. Know why they dive. Know why they come up. I said, Bert, I don't know. Listen to me. Do it. So I said to Clark Gable, I said, Mr. Gable, he said, Colby Clark. I said, Clark, he's asking me about this. Forget that crap. Just do the lines and we'll go and have a drink.
That's right.
It was great.
That's right. Because this acting, a lot of it is nonsense, right? Sitting and researching a submarine.
Well, American Academy Dramatic Arts. You know, I was a stick for about 2 days.
Right.
Once I was a tree, and then I was a dog and heat. It's all that stuff.
You studied acting a
Yes.
little bit, but
Thank you.
But comedy was your real thing. I mean, that's the thing you love the most.
Well, that's why I'm here, to keep it going.
Right. Keep it going. Yes.
I was gonna say the greatest thing Don did in that movie was he threw away the script and he started insulting Norm Macdonald in the movie as Norm Macdonald.
Right.
You forgot that Norm was a character. You couldn't believe it.
You kept insulting the script.
Well, he was right.
Saget directed that, right? Wasn't
Bob
that one?
Saget.
And he was, I think he was tough on him, too.
Yeah.
Bob Saget was directing How to Blow Your Mind. I mean, you've been in the business of how many years?
55.
And then you walk in a room and Bob Saget's the
Bob's
director.
great.
That blew your mind, right?
Oh, he makes a whole thing about John and I being friends. He said he's about 12 feet up here, you know where.
Your ass?
Yeah, he said that. But Bob Saget, so there's a guy that's completely different from the guy that does his act.
Right.
He's a very bright, fun, warm guy. He adores John, but he can't figure out how we're friends.
Is it depressing to see some of the guys like Sinatra, Johnny Carson's now gone? Now that you're an older comic, I mean, you've been in show business so long, is it depressing for you to see all these guys drop off like flies?
Well, Howard, I don't know. I don't want to use the word depressing. It's sadness for me because Sinatra, who was a very, he had mood swings that were unbelievable.
Right.
But I was blessed. He never turned on me. He was always put his arm around me and my wife and treated me like a king. He was a magnificent man when you got to know him.
You spent a lot of time in your book on Sinatra. I mean, you really loved this guy.
Very much so.
Yeah, he
People
embraced
can't
you.
figure it out. People can't figure it out.
Yeah. Why did he not have you killed? I mean, you would say terrible things about him. I don't understand it.
Because my manager at the time had other guys that could kill him.
That's good. But you tell that great story. I mean, you probably told it a million times,
It's a great story.
but in the book, you write it very, very well.
Well, thank you.
The whole Sinatra story about when your dating wasn't going so great.
Yeah.
You finally get a date with a girl, and then you're there at the club in Las Vegas. You're eating dinner, and the girl turns and says, "I see Frank Sinatra over there. Do you think you could introduce me to Frank Sinatra?" And you did the most brilliant thing in the world. Can you tell that?
Well, sure. Well, you
Yeah.
led up to that, and she said, I said, I know Frank. She said, really? So I went over to the table, and all the security was around. I said, Frank, can I talk to you a minute? And he said, there's Bullethead. He called me Bullethead. She said, there's Bullethead. What is it? I said, Frank, if you could come over a couple of minutes and just say hi to me with the girl, it would skyrocket me. And I got a good shot at hitting a home run, you know? He said, you got it, but don't come over right away. So I went back, and I was giving her that cheap champagne, and we were going, to you, my darling, and her lips were dancing, and, you know, my body was twingling, you know. And I tried to be cool, and I said, sweetheart, I just, don't worry about it, boom. And she said, look who's coming. And Frank struts over, had on this beautiful blazer in those days with an ascot, you know. He goes, Don, how are you? And I got up, I went, not now, Frank, can't you see I'm with somebody?
And he didn't hit you. He thought that
he
was
laughed his ass off, but he had the security guys lift me over their heads and carry me out of the casino.
The greatest story ever. Sure. And it's written well in the book.
It sounds like him talking, doesn't it, the book?
Yeah, the book is very, very good. I'm enjoying it. And it actually is very, I don't want, you know how Larry King always says, it's a quick read, it's good, it's good. Right. But it really is. I sit there, you know, at night, and I read a couple of pages, and I get a couple of good laughs. And because for me, and I'm getting all serious on you, but really, you are one of the biggest influences in my life.
Oh, thank you, Howard.
It really is true. I mean, when I was a kid, and I would sit and watch you on the Mike Douglas show specifically, or
The Tonight Show,
or Merv Griffin, any of these shows.
Yeah.
Whenever I get to go on Letterman, I go, if I could be half as good as Don Rickles was, I would be entertained.
A home run.
I get the chills saying this to you because I never saw anybody come out there and be so entertaining. And
Every
I think
time.
That's why when I go on these talk shows, it is so important to me to be entertaining, because I sat as a kid there next to my mother who was droning on about her problems, and then Don Rickles would come on and drown her out and make me laugh. And it was so magnificent. It was the most beautiful symphony I've ever heard.
Well, you should sit down and
really
spend some time with Mr. Rickles.
Thank you.
I've been
And
trying.
I will leave you in good
you have to go.
hands.
Robin has to go.
Okay, I have a graduation I have to attend this morning.
bless your heart.
She's graduating.
So, yeah, I'm graduating finally.
Sorry, Robin, for messing up your news.
No. I'm very happy that he's here, and you guys have a good time.
God bless. Thanks,
Bye, Robin.
Good to see you, dear.
All right, Robin. You know, what is it, Gary?
A couple of things. You know, Mr. Rickles just has a few more minutes left.
Okay.
And I do have to mention he's going to be at the Golden Nugget in Vegas, May 25th to 27th. But when Robin says you guys should have dinner together, I think Mr. Rickles has had dinner with Letterman twice. But the story that I heard was that Letterman has dinner so far down in the basement of the restaurant, it's 4 flights to get down there. I guess he hides away.
Letterman's a weirdo, right?
Yeah, well,
He was on last night.
I heard you killed.
Night.
I heard you were great. I got a note immediately
I
from
hope
video.
you watch it, yeah.
He said to me, Rickles was just on, he killed, blah, 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 you know. And I said, why are you calling him Rickles? You're not even in show business. But Letterman, you did have dinner with, and I find that unusual. Not many people.
What he did, they only tell about the one time with the writers when we went down the basement. It was a private room. Because David's a loner. But,
it's odd, though.
But the last time, previous about a couple of years ago, I said, let's have dinner. And he said, okay. And he said, meet me at 21. And I get to 21, and I go and I said, where's David? And he said, oh, well, just don't worry about it. And the maitre d' takes me down to the wine cellar, and there's the whole crew with an elaborate buffet spread with booze and food, and he was wonderful. And then he came to see me in Vegas with a baseball cap and dungarees. Like, you must know this, how dungarees he came, and jeans, and nobody knew who he was. And he came in my dressing room, and he went, Don, it's so nice to be here with you. I said, David, that's so sweet. You come to the show and sit here. Boom. With that, Steve and Edie come in. And, you know, Edie is shot out of a rocket.
Right. She's a real entertainer.
What a great scene that
So
is.
she came in and said, Don, baby, I love you. And Steve went, oh, lullaby of Birdland. Hey, baby. And Letterman went into the closet.
What is it? I know Johnny Carson was a recluse. And is it that Letterman wants to be so much like Johnny that he has to be a recluse? Is that what's going on?
No, he's from the Midwest, and he's been like that all his life. And he's, believe me, like last night, he does a lot of Johnny Carson, rest his soul, and I miss Johnny terribly because he gave me.
Do you really miss Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
I always heard Johnny, be honest with me.
Sure.
I always heard Johnny was the biggest scumbag. I mean,
not to him, though.
Not to you, but to a lot of people.
Well,
and you're a sensitive guy in a way.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. You know, I always thought he treated comics with some sort of disdain, like they were the only guests that had to earn their seat on the couch.
Well, that's true, but I was never in that position. So I somehow I came to the show, and immediately I was told to sit down next to him. And to this very day, before he passed away, when we talked, when I was on the show, his notes were there, and we never went to the notes. He would say, how's your mother? I'd say, what are you talking? You never even like my mother. What are you bringing up my mother?
Right.
Getting on my nerves with my mother. And we would do maybe 20-minute roll about my mother, just making it up between us.
Really? That was not...
never scripted, no, and never clued even, and it was wonderful.
Is there a problem with some of these shows now that they're too scripted? Like Leno, I used to go on. I don't go on anymore. But Leno, sometimes it's all planned out ahead of time. Maybe there's no spontaneity. There's sort of a problem there that everything has to be planned out.
Well, meanwhile, Leno has 15 years on the show or something like that, and he's making $40 billion. So if you don't prepare, whatever he does, it's working.
Doing something. Is there anyone you don't like in show business?
You.
Aside from me, no one likes me.
I'm kidding.
We said in show business, Don.
I'm kidding.
We're barely in show business.
No, I never look at the negative side. The people I don't like, I don't associate with. That's all, and I just pass on it.
So there are people you don't like.
Oh, well, I'm human, of course.
Right.
But the great thing about Don's appearance at Dirty Work on the set was he had just done Casino with Scorsese, and he went up to Saget at 6 in the morning and said, Bob, I was just talking to Martin Scorsese. I said, Marty, Bob Saget's directing a film. The man grabbed his chest.
It is that is shocking to do that. But it's such a thrill to have you here. Really an honor, and I'm very, very excited about your book. I'm glad you wrote a book.
Well, thank you.
And it's a good book.
Thanks. The reason it all came about, David, oh God,
I co-wrote it with you.
Huh? No. David Ritz helped structure the thing.
Yeah.
But what we did, we double spaced it, as I told John, and we double spaced it. And I said, "This is the way. I hope the book shows that. I want it to be in my voice."
No, it is.
So I'd say, David, I don't say it like that. He would come up with a big word, incomparable. We'll just say. I said,
Right.
I never said to a friend, "You're incomparable." I can't even spell it. So.
No, the stories read like how you would. I'd actually never heard the Sinatra story before about the coming up to the table, and
really?
it was very much in your voice. I could
That's
hear
what I
you.
wanted it to show, David.
Did you do an audio book too?
No, I didn't want to do that because for a lot of reasons, which
I understand. Who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah,
Sit and read your own book.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get somebody else to read it.
No, they couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it right. What is it, Gary?
Mr. Rickles needs to leave.
Oh, one of those kind of appearances, like the old Bob Hope appearance. You walk in and then you walk out 1, 2, 3.
No, the reason is that he's very sweet about it. The reason I said leave is because this morning I got up at dawn and I did Regis and last night I did David, and I got to get back to the wife so she don't get in the car with the jewelry and leave me.
Yeah, you're tired. I understand. Listen, it's enough, right? Enough of this book promotion.
We'll go see him sometime if he's in Atlantic City.
I would love to go see you.
Why don't you come in Atlantic City? John tells me he's asked you a few times.
I'm going to come. The next time I'm actually coming.
I'll even treat you to dinner afterwards. How's that?
Oh, I would love to do that.
You have a new lady now. You're going to be married, right?
I have a lady. I'm going to be married. It's very exciting.
And you want to know something?
No.
There's a girl called Harriet Anthony, a dear friend of mine, and she's a friend of your ex-wife.
Yes.
Good.
And I met her years ago. I met your ex-wife, who I found very charming.
She's a very nice woman.
And she was great.
You're hanging out with all the exes.
Yeah.
He was just on Regis with mine.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Was John's
Not
ex-wife?
to put a bullet in her. She's dead.
You were on Regis with Rebecca
just now.
Romaine Stamos.
Right.
I see. And pretty girl, right?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful girl.
Yeah.
But she was on afterwards. I wouldn't hurt him for the world. John. By the way, John Stamos is the guy that everybody says, you got to go on Howard. You got to go on Howard. And I said, Howard's a nice man, but maybe it's not for me. No, it's for you. He's
Why
wonderful.
wouldn't it be for you? What's wrong with me?
No, because at the time when you were doing the radio shows,
Right.
before you had this deal for $7 billion,
Right.
$600 billion, Jesus Christ, you could wear the hair on your ass and be perfect. I mean, but it's magnificent. But when I used to hear you earlier, way back, you would come on with some of the guys with the stuff with the women and so forth.
You don't go for that. You never walk dirty. You never said dirty words on stage.
My hand to God, son of a bitch is big for me. Really.
That's it.
That's it.
That's amazing. I wouldn't have that much
and I
time.
respect you, Howard, because you are brilliant in what you do. And hey, this business is how you made it,
Right.
and you certainly didn't have it easy. And now you have a new style of thing with a new network, and so on.
Satellite radio.
It's great, and you're a young guy yet, and you got a lot ahead of you. And I wish you the best. And
Thank you.
And I look forward when I'm in New York again. If you ask me to come on, and I could just sit like this and have some time to
We'll
talk to
hang
you,
out.
I would
and we'll
love
talk
it.
about the news. We'll talk about what's going on.
I love it.
I would love
That's another thing which I don't know. I don't know if you get into that. I don't think you do that much. I never get into politics, and I can't stand it. Just this one shot. I can't stand it, whether it be Bush, whether it be Jimmy Carter, or any of these guys when they're presidents and they lay on them with these bad, rotten And, you know, you say George Bush at a dinner party, 3 guys go, why that, blah, 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 blah. And you say, the guy from Europe, that's our president, for crying out loud. I mean, the dignity of the office. So that's why I don't buy.
You still respect the presidency, and you are worried about our image overseas, so you don't bash the president.
Right, and for the guys that are fighting it over there, too.
That's right.
Howard, did you know that Mr. Rickles has met 5 presidents?
Is that right?
Yes, I did, yeah.
5 presidents.
Yes.
Who was the most, who was the one you admired the most?
Oh, geez, the one I had the most fun with, because I knew when he was governor, was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he was fun, huh?
And the greatest thing in my life, I say that all the time in the book. It says it was the inaugural with Sinatra for Ronald Reagan, and they said to the cabinet, they said, we're going to have Rickles. They said, are you crazy? No Rickles. And Frank said, God rest his soul, he said, you don't have Rickles, you don't have me.
Wow.
Then we went to Washington, and they said, what's he going to say? And he said, whatever he wants to say.
That's right. And were there intimate moments with Sinatra? I mean, could you go to his house and hang out and talk real talk and not all the showbiz crap?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And when he didn't like it, he slapped you.
Right. Probably literally, right?
No.
Well, I look forward to the next time we get together.
Yeah.
You are my hero.
Oh, thank you.
You are terrific. And, of course, everyone knows the book now. The book is called Rickles Book. A memoir, Don Rickles with David Ritz, and you know, he's out there promoting it, and it really, I'm not just saying it because he's here. I'm reading the book and I love it, absolutely love it.
And it'll also be at the Golden Nugget in Vegas, May 25th and 27th.
In Vegas, very nice, and I'm sure Stamos will be there too.
Well, I'm in Atlantic City if you can, really, next year. And I'll be there in October. Come down and see the show.
And I think you're doing okay. You know, you're having a good career, and I'm proud of you.
At 81, they still show up.
81. Do you feel 81?
No, I really don't. Except when I get up in the morning and the leg don't work.
Is it hard for you to get up on stage now and do your thing?
No.
You're still as sharp as ever.
Yeah,
Sharp as ever.
Right.
The traveling, there's John. The traveling is the only thing that bothers me. I take a private jet occasionally, but not often. But traveling is
it's hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, do you ever just want to just say, forget it, it's enough?
When they don't show up or I don't have it anymore, I'll know that.
Right.
But John is my good supporter, and he tells me I'm still going strong.
No, that's true. Do you have people who will say to you, listen, Mr. Rickles, it's over. That's it. It's done.
No, I never had anybody say that to me. I know it's been written about me, just about the book. My son, who follows, by the way, Larry Rickles, big fan of yours.
Oh, great.
Son.
Tell him I said hi.
Listens to you like crazy. Anyway, so in the book, people, on the Google, is that what you call it?
Yeah, Google search.
They say, they let that old man die. Why is he writing a book? You know, you get people like that. I don't think he's funny, but they're entitled. That's. I think, and I think you'll agree, John is an actor and a fine one. You're a fine jock that you do. I think all of us, we all, when you sell yourself, you can't please everybody. It's impossible.
Right.
My father was a great salesman, but he couldn't sell everybody.
Right.
They just won't buy you. And so the three of us, thank God all of us have a good career going, and
you
not
say
everybody loves us.
your father was a huge influence on you, and you speak highly of your father. But is that because your generation is trained to speak highly? Was your father a nice man to you?
He always a great guy.
He was.
Great guy.
Was he encouraging to you in your career?
Oh, yeah, but he didn't worry about it. He just said, whatever you want to do. And I sold, as the book will tell you, I sold a lot of stuff, and I never made it. So,
right.
But my mother always wanted to be, she lived through me, my mother.
You were way close to your mother.
Yeah.
Way close. Yeah. I remember you on Mike Douglas. He would talk about your mother more than anything.
Yeah, she was something else.
Was that the hardest thing, losing your mother?
Well, losing a mother is tough for anybody.
Right.
Yes,
but that was real tough.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. You were a mama's boy.
Oh, sure. Don't tell it to my wife. I'll have trouble.
Right.
He really does have to go.
Oh, he does. All right. Okay.
Hey, it's good talking to you.
It was good talking to you.
Don,
the great
is the baby
Don
gorilla
Rickles. Baby gorilla. Right over there.
Gary.
He's a baby gorilla. All right. I'll do it.
John, you're the best.
Thanks.
All right.
For coming in.
Thank you, Mr. Rickles.
Really.
Mr. Rickles,
Sir.
how was that getting to meet Howard and getting to mix
It was
it up?
exciting. I got chills. I got to lay down.
He called you his hero.
Well, hey, that's his problem. But it was enjoyable. It was great to be with him. It really was.
Mr. Rickles, are you a Stern fan?
Well, I am now. No, I just listen to him occasionally, but I've always respected him. Thank you, gentlemen. I want to go.
So, John, how's ER going?
Great. Had
Yeah.
a great season. Very fruitful.
This is a great move for you.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Great show.
Big show. Back on TV. You're friends with Don Rickles. You banged 2 chicks this year.
Life is good.
Are they models, the 2?
What was?
One is a model. Nice. Professional model.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go out and see what he's banging. I think.
Good.
Is it hard for you still to see Rebecca and her engagement and all that?
No. I'm finally at the place where I'm happy for her. You
talked to her at all?
We emailed recently.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Very nice.
What'd you say in the email?
There's just no anger. Her grandmother passed away, so I sent her a note, and she sent a nice note back.
Was it hard for you to see her getting married?
No.
You don't even care?
No, I really don't. I swear to you.
Is pussy the best cure to get over pussy?
It's good, yeah.
It is.
It helps.
You went out and you got laid a lot, and it was the cure for that.
Yeah.
Any heartache you might have experienced.
Especially when your ex marries the fat kid from Stand By Me.
That's right.
That's no threat.
Is your dog still named
Bianca Romaine Stamos? That is
O'Connell.
O'Connell. Yes. I changed the name.
O'Connell.
I did. Oh, you can act like you don't know Jerry's last name? You know it.
O'Connell.
O'Connell, right?
Yeah.
Or is it O'Connor?
I don't know.
All right, he knows.
O'Connell, is it?
Right.
No, anyway.
Well, anyway, first of all, I want to thank you for bringing Don Rickles in. I'm going to be forever in your debt.
I've been trying to do it for years. I'm so happy.
You're a good man.
Thank you. You too.
Artie, you want to plug something? You want to say something?
No, I just this was a real fun day. Well, what a surreal, great ending to the day. That was great, you know.
That was fun.
Really
Benji, you okay after your stand-up there?
Yeah, it was a wonderful, great day.
Was the roast funny?
You know what? We're all going to re-listen to it, and you're going to see Benji.
I think you did fine.
I'll be on the
right.
suicide hotline.
You'll be all right.
Benji roasted for the first time, and he, ups and downs. More ups, I think, than downs. Yeah. We all had ups and downs. Everybody who did a set had fucking downs.
It was an Andy Dick roast.
I know.
You
he was
don't
at my
like
house
Andy?
No, I like him. He came out. He was on ER. He came over to my house a few weeks ago, a month ago.
Was he all fucked up?
Yeah. We were one day, I was last year. I was at the upfronts a couple years ago, and I'm standing at the thing, and so all of a sudden I'm standing up, and someone's sitting down by me, and I feel someone sucking on my finger. I swear to God. And I thought it was a chick. I looked down, and it's him, and I punched him in the face.
Of course you should have.
And he doesn't remember.
It's a violation.
He doesn't even know it
He
happened.
He doesn't.
Well, we have some guy who works for us, and we years ago somehow he was assigned to taking care of Andy, and Andy was hitting on him the whole time. And you know Jared, so we assigned. This is a goof. We assigned him to Andy, and he says Andy was trying to get him in the bathroom the whole fucking morning.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was a whole saga. I bet you Andy wants you real bad, John. Huh?
He says I'm too old for him now.
Oh bullshit!
Boy, we should have let Jared roast.
Oh, that would have been good. Oh really? I bet you get hit on by dudes all the time. Do you?
Sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
The one benefit of being fat and ugly, man, I don't get gay dudes.
I listen to that. The series. The show's so great, but it plays like 4 times during the day, which I love.
Right.
And every time, the day that Sal licked, Richard licked Sal's ball, every time I turned it on, it was right at that point.
Right.
For whatever reason, it just was on that point.
Yeah, it just went to
and then the weekend show.
The creepiness meter just went right to that.
That was pretty creepy.
It was great.
Do you think they'll probably go to a full blowjob?
Well, how do you top? You have to. You got to stick it in.
And
6 months.
because Sal will listen to this type of reasoning. You go, look, dude, it's show business. You got to top it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And he wants to.
Here's the
top
deal. He was a so-so shot on the roast today. Rickles came on. It totally blows everybody away. Sal wants to reclaim that limelight.
He's going to have to blow Richard.
He's going to have to blow Richard.
You got to get the money. If you get the money up, right?
Yeah.
You put in. How much will you put in?
I would to see.
I'll put in 10 grand.
I'll put in 10 grand.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
John will put up 10 grand.
Okay.
I'll put up 10 grand.
Artie?
I might go another 10.
Artie would go 10 grand. 30 grand for Richard to
Tip.
to put the head of his penis
In your mouth.
No, it's the other way around.
All right. You put your penis. You guys can split up the 30 grand any way you want.
Okay,
Richard,
wait a minute. So
Richard and I, if you guys put up 1,000 right now, Richard and I will both lick John Stamos' balls.
$1,000. I'll do it.
Okay, $1,000.
All right, John, you're in. All right, let's see that. Go
Come on, John, it'll be fun.
I'll give you 100 grand not to lick my
See,
balls.
John's having the proper reaction to that question. No, seriously, what if we got up 30 grand? I'm sure we could get more, and Richard gets 20.
Sponsors.
What about 50?
Richard would have to get 20, right?
Richard,
And
here's
what are we
here's what
doing?
you have
I
to
didn't
do.
hear.
For a good 5 minutes, all right, because we're paying some money here. You got to take your cock. Sal, take his cock, and you got to put it in your mouth for 5 minutes.
I would do the other way around.
Which
I
way?
would put my cock in his mouth. That's less gay.
You're
I
the
think.
girl in this relationship.
No, Sal, maybe it's time for you to take one.
No,
for the team.
Yeah, come on.
Not even close, dude. I will stick my dick in Richard's ass for $1 million tax-free with a condom on. And Richard agreed to it.
No one's coming up with $1 million.
Nobody wants to see
Oh,
that.
$1 million.
What about-
bucks,
What about...
It's got to be realistic. 30 grand to have a... All right, I tell you what. Maybe 5 minutes is too much torture.
That's too long.
How about 2.5 minutes? You have Sal's penis in your mouth.
And you got to sing.
Oh,
And
What
you got to
about...
sing a song.
I can't do it. I'm
Sal,
sorry.
what about your tongue on his hole?
No,
That's good.
See,
10
that
grand, 10
sounds
grand.
good.
That's
That
10
sounds
grand.
good.
That's only
Will
10
you
grand,
put
and that's
your-
got to be
will you-
4 minutes.
I'll give you 10 grand if you put your tongue inside his hole.
no, Richard would do that. Richard would probably
No,
stick
I'm not tonguing your hole.
Yeah.
You're all
yours,
hairy.
man.
Just do mine.
What if he shaved?
I'll wax. I'll do everything.
But you licked his nuts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
not that-
different.
It's right
A
around the
butt-
corner from his ass.
Yeah, but poop
How is
doesn't
it
come out of his nuts.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he'll be clean.
I'm Italian. My shit's, it tastes pretty good.
What if he
Pizza.
uses a,
Really?
Yeah, it tastes like cannoli.
He's
what if he
so
uses a baby
hairy.
wipe on his asshole?
Well, you heard 30 grand for you to take Sal's penis in your mouth.
I can't. I'm sorry.
All right,
Howard.
deal off the table.
I would put mine in his mouth for that. But
No kidding.
But Richard, so wait, Richard, you let him fuck. There's a number that would let you get fucked in the ass.
Where's Don Rickles? He wants to be in on this.
in the millions.
Don, pick your balls up off the floor. Let's lick them.
You a fan of Don Rickles? Do you know Don Rickles' work?
I love
Yeah,
Don
we were both
Rickles.
freaking out that he was here.
Don
yeah.
Rickles is the king of insult comedy. He started it. And
What was that song they used to play him on with?
With the horn, yeah.
Some sort of Toreador.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Johnny Carson, the king of mean, was he?
Mr. Warmth.
Mr. Warmth, yeah. And no, Mr. Warmth.
He does it in his act still.
It really does. He really?
And he kills. I'm telling you, he still kills.
I believe it.
It really was an event. Like my parents would wake me up to see him on the Tonight Show.
But it would be like Don Rickles is going to be on.
Yeah.
You got to watch. And I was like, yeah, that's it.
We should get him on the next roast. He would be great.
He ain't going to do that. You know.
It's taken me 5 years to get him to do.
We just got him to sit on the couch for 5 minutes.
But you were so nice to him. I think he would come in and really talk. Again.
Yeah. He's got to come in.
He just
again.
can't get. He doesn't like to get up this early, but.
No, fuck him. He'll come in.
Yeah.
You know. If he knew that Sal and Rich were going to blow each other, he'd be.
Can't mess
You know,
that
get
up.
him
Front row seat.
You know what? If there's something you should try to get on your channels, I don't know what it would take, is try to buy the rights to the audio of those old Friars roasts from the 60s that Rickles was on, and he'd get roasted sometimes. Uncensored, they're unfucking believable. I mean, if Sirius is ever going to write a check for something, man, if you got the rights to that on Howard 100 or something, or 101, I think that would be amazing.
That'd be way cool.
Yeah.
And then he did the Dean Martin roast too.
Those things I think that'd be more expensive, but those old uncensored Friars ones are unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. He was amazing.
Great.
It's great to have him still around. I mean, he's the sole survivor of all the old.
All right, now shut up and blow, Richard.
Yeah, put a dick
Only
in
if I
your
can
mouth.
blow you first out.
All right, listen. John Stamos is on ER. You got to watch.
Big finale this.
Big deal.
This,
Oh, look, there's a picture.
Oh,
of,
jeez.
Look,
Come on.
there's,
John, let's do that
there's
to you.
Richard licking Sal's nutsack.
Yum,
Oh, God. I'm not looking.
Yeah, you're looking. I see.
Me and Artie are looking at each other.
Look, taste.
Yummy.
That's on, that's the #1 downloaded show on Howard TV.
I thought he sat. I thought you sat over.
No.
him.
I did that
Well, he
before.
did that earlier that day. Yeah,
That was the
Teabag.
jackhammer
that was
pudding pie.
that was breakfast.
Yeah, it actually got gayer than earlier.
All right, we're gonna go now. I'm gonna go eat some
Come on,
lunch.
John,
and,
just take out one ball. Just one.
No.
I bet John has pretty balls.
Yeah, I bet they should.
I should have left with Rickles. I never need to hear those words out of your mouth. I bet John has pretty balls.
I hope John has ugly balls. He's gotta
Dude,
have
you think
something
you're
ugly.
impressive on ER? Take your fucking balls out on the Howard Stern show. Come on, show people what you're made of.
Shut up, Sal.
The guy's on ER.
He's on ER. He doesn't need to
Anybody
take
can
his
act on
balls
that shitty show. Let's go. Let's see your nuts.
out. Is it hard memorizing all that shit?
Yeah.
What do? You spend half your day memorizing medical terms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, but it's been the best job of my life.
The medical terms, I watch that show and I go, God, those are fucking doozies, man.
I don't know how you do that. I could never do
Are
that.
there teleprompters, John?
No. We write it down. You know, they have those charts and stuff, so you write down some of this
You
stuff.
know,
Do you have pretty balls? Are your balls prettier than Clooney's? I mean, he started that.
Are they shaved? Just pull your pants out and we'll look down.
I believe this is gay.
You fucking shave your balls.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not a very hairy guy.
Dude,
He
we're
wants to
amongst
show
men.
you.
Take your balls out already. Let's go.
You shave your balls?
A little bit, I take it down. Sure.
Yeah.
You know what's embarrassing to me? The hairs on my penis
Taint.
The
are
shaft.
longer than my penis. I have hairs that are longer than my penis.
Well, do you ever ask John how he gets the shaft hairs off? Like, do you shave your shaft
You have
hairs?
hair on your shaft?
No, bat on the bag. Mainly more bag.
I get some on the side.
You know, you can play a game. You guys should play this. You pull out a little piece of skin. And you call it bag or shaft, and you have to guess where it's from.
Wait, I don't understand. What are you saying?
You pull
Show
out
me.
a little piece.
What are you talking about?
Here, should I stand
My
behind
guy
you?
should leave, but you can only pull out just a piece. Just
Pull out a piece. All right, bag or shaft.
What is
Play
it?
the game. I can't see it. You got to play it. It's your game.
I hope no one's listening
What is
still.
it?
Bag.
You got it.
It is bag?
Here.
Wow.
What's this?
That's a good game, right?
John.
No.
John, you got to do this. Bag of shaft.
John, what's this?
John, here.
Get up! Fucking out of it! Show the
What's
fucking
this?
head. Get out!
Come on,
Get
guess.
out!
Guess.
Get away from John.
But he's got to
That's
guess, though.
horrible.
He's not playing.
I finally fucked a
I don't know what
celebrity.
that
You know
is.
what?
Sal just put his penis in John's ass.
That was horrible.
That was time you were just
It
raised.
looked like a poor, withered up pencil.
I don't understand,
Like
John. This game you play. What is the purpose?
I don't
of
play it. I'm just saying it's a game. You know.
All right. I thought you played it. I'm like, what the hell is that?
We should have went to some of those Full House rap parties or something.
All right, listen. Stay away from those
Yeah,
two
get it,
guys.
man, come on.
They're all worked up.
Coulier would pull his part of his bag out and pull it out and say, "I sat on gum," and there's hair in it. Maybe he was wearing shorts or
That
something.
guy was fun.
Funny guy.
All right, listen. John Stamos is in ER. You see it every week on NBC.
Yeah.
And it's the best job of his life, and he's getting a lot of good reviews.
He's a fellow drummer, too. We were just talking drums on the hallway.
I bet he whacks it in rhythm like I do.
Yeah.
John,
You
you wanna
color
play
in your hair,
That
John?
was awful, huh?
You color in your hair?
No, it's great.
A little bit?
No, I don't do anything.
Yeah, all right. I don't
See,
either.
gray?
I don't color it. Oh, I just didn't know.
No.
You look good.
You look good.
Thanks.
Has John,
getting
did you
married?
ever...
What?
You're getting married, huh?
Yeah, I know. You think I'm crazy.
No, I don't. She's the girl. I mean, you found it. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I don't know. I'm 7 years. I mean, what am I
Yeah.
going to do?
What are you
What am I
gonna
going to do?
Hey, Howard.
But you always predict. You know, you should play a game of like who you predicted would get divorced. Well, everybody. You said everybody.
Yeah, everyone's going to get divorced, basically. Yeah.
But you know, like when people come on, they go, "Hey, I'm getting engaged." You go, "Yeah, it'll take 4 or 5 years."
That's right.
She go back.
All right.
But I think you'll make it.
Well, let's see if you get married again. I don't think you will.
I'm settling into bachelorhood. I kind of like it.
Settle right in there,
You know
buddy.
what I mean? I mean, it's better having the one that you love and that is there for your ups and downs. And it's better than going out and screwing a bunch of different girls all the time. But not that much better.
Not that much
It's
better.
just a little better.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
And a lot less aggravation. Thanks, John. And thanks
Thanks.
for bringing in Don Rickles.
John, you brought a legend to the show.
Finally, I've been trying to get Dawn to come in for so it's a thrill.
And you're a fan of the show, of Howard and of the
I love
show.
it. You know, Howard and I always talk about Don. Like, Howard would always say that Don was his inspiration and the reason why he got into comedy. So I've been trying to get Don in for so long. He just doesn't get up early, and he, but I think he really had a good time today.
That was cool. Everyone seemed really in awe of him. Almost.
Yeah. He's the greatest. I mean, he's the greatest, and the greatest guy too.
Now, the other thing I have to ask you, as a fan of the show, do you fear it's becoming too gay with Richard and Sally?
So that was gay. Those guys trying to.
An oral sex bidding war it turned into.
What do you do with these guys?
Should have kicked him right in his fucking cock, man.
I should have hit him.
Should.
I should.
No, I should have kicked him right in his cock.
You think?
Should've punched him in his cock. We might be having him come back.
What if I
I
would have turned my head, man.
I know.
Is there any going? Have we gone past the line? Can we get back to how the show used to be, or is it just?
I hope.
We never got to finish our game.
You know what the problem was? When Robin leaves early, they gay it up.
Is that what happened?
That's the rule. It's like when she's in the room.
The show's getting. I mean, I have nothing against gay
want to
people.
talk about going from the heights into the depths.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
went from
And
Don
like that.
Rickles to his ball bag.
Yeah. I should have left.
I'm very upset by this. I'm going to start doing what Artie does. I'm going to start getting on
Hey, you're the
TV
one-
shows and just.
He's the one that brought it up. I mean, we were asked to come
you
in
would
there.
pull your bag out, your thing.
But you brought up that game. How can we not play that game?
Just trying to feed into the show. It doesn't mean you have to try to butt fuck me on national
Hey,
television.
Sal was the one that started that.
Richard, don't drag John into this. You've been doing this when he's not.
He
here.
came up with
do it
bag
with John
or
Stamos or
shaft.
John Schmoller. It doesn't matter.
You mentioned bag or shaft. You tempted us.
You said the keywords.
Did they hassle you?
She's sorry.
Oh, you said. I should have left with Rickles, right? It's fine.
Thanks for stopping by, though, John.
Yeah, you got it. People love the show. Everywhere I go, people say, I love you on Howard. I could do every talk show on the planet that week. Every fucking show. But everyone, all they talk about is Howard. I love you on Howard.
I can't wait till you come out with bag or shaft, the board game.
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Be a hit at bachelor parties and frat parties.